We start lecture on environmental engineering. This is our lecture number 3rd. We have to discuss about the bacteriological and virological characteristics of water, and then we will study various processes to clean the water. So we start with, before that, there is one more important topic, which is dissolved gases. The various gases which may get dissolved in water due to its contact with atmosphere or the ground surface may be oxygen, nitrogen, methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. But we have to main concern about the dissolved oxygen, because if the oxygen present in water is found to be less than its saturation level, it indicates presence of organic matter and consequently making the water suspicious. So the saturation level of oxygen in water depends on the temperature of the water. For example, the saturation level of oxygen in water at 15 degrees Celsius is about 10 ppm. Nowadays, DO is measured in the field by DO meter. Laboratory methods for measuring the dissolved oxygen is Winkler method and Asstt-Winkler methods. Then we come to bacteriological and virological characteristics of drinking water. Potable water should be completely free of bacteria and viruses. This is shown in table. All water intended for drinking, E. coli or thermotolerant coliform bacteria shall not be detectable in any 100 milliliter sample. Treated water which entering the distribution system must also be free from bacteria. E. coli is basically a bacteria which is not harmful, but if presence of E. coli in water shows that the water will be polluted. Next is, now we come to concept of water works for municipal water supply. First aim is our collection of water. We take the water from source such as river, well, ponds and lake. Then second step will be transmission of that water. That means conveyance of raw water which will be withdrawn from river, well, ponds to the treatment unit. The next is treatment or purification works. We have to purify the water in treatment plants. Next one is again transmission work. Now the transmission of treated water from treatment plants to storage reservoir, and then last is distribution work. Distribution of treated water from storage reservoir to consumers. Purification of water supply. The available raw waters must be treated and purified before they can be supplied to the general public for their domestic, industrial or any other uses. The extent of treatment required to be given to a particular water depends upon the characteristics and quality of the available water, and also upon the quality requirements for the intended use. Now therefore there are various processes for purify the water. First one is screening, second one is plain sedimentation, then third one is sedimentation added with coagulation, fourth filtration, disinfection, aeration and softening, and some are miscellaneous instruments are also there, such as fluoridation, recarbonation, limiting, desalination, etc. Now first we start with screening. They are shown the screens. These are screens. This is example of coarse screens. Most of the big and floating objects such as trees, branches, polythene bags as shown there, polythene bags, sticks, vegetation, fish, animal, etc. present in raw water of surface sources can be removed by screening. Screens could be parallel bars, these shown as parallel bars, or rods, grating, wire meshes, or perforated plates. Coarse screen. The given figure is example of coarse screen, generally called trash rack, or sometimes placed in front of fine screens. The coarse screen first remove the bigger floating bodies and the organic solids, and then the fine screen that remove the fine suspended solids. Coarse screens are generally steel bar racks of opening greater than 6 mm. Opening means the spacing between this two bars, spacing between bars are about greater than 6 mm, while the fine screens are wire mesh having openings less than 6 mm. The coarse screen are generally inclined at an about, this is your coarse screen, and this is inclination about 45 degree to the horizontal, so as to increase the opening area. To increase the opening area, to reduce the flow velocity, and thus making the screening more effective. The velocity through screens are generally kept 0.8 meter per second to 1 meter per second. These are exercises. You have to perform these exercises. In next lecture, we take another processes of treatment of water.